Hello. Weird that I'm streaming twice in a day, right? I guess so. Usually I only post like one video a day now, but I could get more used to this since I think I'm done with finals, honestly. Through finals week. If you didn't know, I was in my finals week. So what I wanted to do was Ike matchups here, at least for myself. I'm not a top player or anything, so I don't have like the most of experience. But at least for me, these are how hard the matchups are. Now, let me go ahead and put. Okay, if it would let me, I get the top here. I don't know why these are so big. They didn't used to be like this. Can I reset like this whole thing, or how can I reset this? Can I not? I can't. I don't think so. It'll just have to be like this. I don't know why it's like this though. If I change it to, let's say, like 64. Nope, stays the same. Render? Oh. Oh god, no. Oh god, no. Screenshots are better. Yep. Let's just go Ike at the top here. I have to fix everything again. Ike. So we're gonna go old style. +1. 0 or even. -1. -2. And the nope just means there's no chance in winning this matchup at all. So +2 means big advantage, +1 means slight advantage, 0 means even, -1 means slight disadvantage, and -2 means big disadvantage. Nope means absolute destruction, which I don't think applies to any character in this game. Or Jigglypuff. Okay, so what I think about Ike in his own matchup is that literally I think if a character is going up against himself or herself, I think that character is 50-50, no matter what. It always goes even with themselves. Some people say like, oh, if a character goes up against themselves, it's like 60-40, but I don't know how that makes sense, because how does having the same character as him make you have an advantage? You know what I'm saying? It all comes down to skill then. If you're the same character, I believe it's 50-50. I don't get how people are like, oh, it's 60-40, like against Marth and himself. I don't get that. I think it's 50-50 if a character is going against himself or herself, no matter who it is. It just depends on the skill of the player at that point. Just make sure it's recording my voice, okay. Now this is where we get to the actual stuff. +2 big advantage. I don't have exact numbers, so this is why I'm using the plus system. If I had exact numbers, I would use them, of course, and I would probably need more boxes for like 70-30, 60-40, 55-45, whatever. 50-50, which is even, which is here. Okay. So for +2, big advantage. Again, this is gonna be for 1-1-1 means these characters not gonna be included because these are custom, whatever. But I might just put them there just for OCD. Again, I have to do this. I don't know why it's like this. Again, I think almost every character has +2 against the Miis. Almost every character does. If I make this... Alright, I think that's better. Does it change it on here? Yeah, it does. You can still see their screenshots too. I'm gonna just make it 80%. So for Ike, I believe he also has +2 against the Miis. Why? Because literally Mii Brawler can't do much to approach because Ike has Fair and can outrange him. Same thing with Mii Gunner. She can try and, you know, bait him out with like Fair and side B, but Ike can deal with that just fine with Nair canceling out her Fair or whatever, and can deal with the projectiles just fine. Sword Fighter doesn't even like stand a chance. Like, you should know why. They're both holding swords, but Ike is so much better. That's why I think it's +2. Just for OCD, don't count these because these are meant to be custom Miis, but nobody does those anymore. So Just count those as 1/1/1 mates. Okay. OCD purposes. Again, another character I think has +2 against, which I think almost every character has +2 against. Jigglypuff as well. Jigglypuff, since Melee has really not been a good character, the approach in this matchup too, Ike outranges her with Fair. Ike outranges her with almost every move and can kill her very, very early since Ike kills early, and Jigglypuff has the lowest weight in the entirety of the game. So this is a very big disadvantage for Jigglypuff, big advantage for Ike in this matchup at least. Okay. See, this is where I didn't plan this in advance, so Zelda. She has a big advantage against Zelda. Zelda can't really do anything to approach. She could do side B, but that just leaves her open, honestly. She could do down B, but also that leaves her open. Fair doesn't stand a chance. Ike outranges her. Anything to approach either. And she can't stop him from approaching. Same story as Ganondorf. Ganondorf loses to a lot of people as well. If I could find him, there we go. Again, Ganondorf can't really do anything about approaching or stopping Ike from approaching himself. Let me just what? There we go. Alright. Or stopping Ike from approaching himself. He can't really do anything either. So this is why I think Ike also has +2 against him. Alright, this is where it gets a little bit harder. It's not as obvious anymore. Okay. Let me see here. I really don't think Kirby can do much either. I really don't think so. Kirby can't really approach here, and I think it's a big advantage too, because Ike can approach whenever he wants, and it can really outrange Kirby in a lot of stuff. He can play footsies here. And Kirby can't really do a lot. So I think Kirby deserves to be in the +2 here as well. As well as King Dedede. I don't know why I didn't put him here. King Dedede Gordo gets reflected back by Fair, which takes up a lot of space. Approach either can't stop Ike from approaching that much since Fair is so long. And I think he loses this matchup as well. As well as Bowser. Bowser can't really do anything here either. To like, okay, shield stuff and then grab, but Bowser can't really do that. Since Fair has such long range, he'll end up, I think, just honestly getting punished. Maybe he should be in minus. I mean, maybe he should be in +1. Actually, I think I'll do that +1 because I could see him getting a grab off of after shielding Fair if you're not careful. Same thing with all the grapplers, honestly. Charizard and Donkey Kong, I think they also are in +1 because all they're meant to do is just like approach with like and then with like whatever bait something. That's their playstyle. But I feel like they're more likely to grab than Dedede because Dedede can't really do much off of a grab. You know, down throw Fair, maybe that's it. But yeah, I think. I think Little Mac is also in +1. I was thinking about putting him in +2 like right now, but I think the only reason he's in +1 is because of counter, and he can counter Fair, and you have to be very careful about that. But besides that, literally Ike wins in every other way. Bowser Jr., I feel like he also wins against, but slightly because of projectiles, but the projectiles can be canceled by Fair, or he can just throw Mecha Koopa back, and Bowser Jr. will have a very hard time approaching since Fair has a very long range. He's still more of a threat. He's not +2. He's not. You don't have a big advantage. I think you just have a slight advantage. Falco, I feel like you have a +2 against since he can't really do anything. Lasers, you can literally just jump. Or I don't know if you can crouch on them. But Falco will have very hard time approaching as well. Fox, I feel like, is +1 because even though it's the same story as Falco, Fox is much faster and is more prone to get a grab on you, especially if he shields Fair or something like that. Honestly, since you're so fat, you're heavy, he can get a big combo on you as well. So I feel like it's just +1 there. I feel like Pikachu, he's also +1 against because Quick Attack can get on you very quickly, but if you predict it, you can Nair and you can get Pikachu out of his Quick Attack, and you can just Fair Pikachu away from you. Base for like Quick Attack not to get you as well. Although I can still think Pikachu can get on you very quickly, and that's why it's not +2. You just have a slight advantage there. Rob, I feel like, is also +1 because of his gyro, and where he places it might be like a disadvantage to you because then you can't Fair there or you can't stand there. But I still think it's an advantage for you just because he's so big model. He has such a big hitbox that you can hit him with. I feel like Game & Watch can't do much, and therefore he's +2. Can't really do much in this matchup either. Yoshi goes even. Yoshi goes even because he can get in very quickly on Ike, throw him off stage, and literally gimp him with up B if he wanted to. But Ike has the potential to keep him away with Fair and maybe Nair. Maybe not Nair, just Fair. Maybe F-tilt. I don't know. But I feel like Yoshi can get in very quickly, throw him off stage, gimp him with up B like right away. So I think that matchup is like even. Depends on literally skill. Because Ike can keep him away, but Yoshi can just throw him off just as easily as that. The faster grapplers, Captain Falcon, Mario, Luigi, I feel like are even because same thing with Yoshi. Except they are much faster, and Mario has an up smash that is very dangerous. Captain Falcon can also spike very early. Same thing with Luigi down B and Luigi down air. They can kill Ike very early, although I feel like it's not a slight disadvantage yet. I feel like it's just even there. For Peach, like it's -1. You have a slight disadvantage because Peach can edge guard you and literally kill you so early. It's not even funny. Projectiles as well, so it's harder for you to deal with that. Although she has to approach you first, and she's gonna have a hard time dealing with Fair. But I feel like she still has the advantage here because literally her edge guarding is on point. If she gets you off stage, there's like 100% chance of her getting an edge guard, like almost all of the time. Villager, I feel like, is also -1 because of his Fair and because of the tree and his Lloyd that are very hard to get past. Get past all of them, I believe. That's why it's not a huge disadvantage. And I think he can deal with that, although he'll still have a tough time against Villager because Villager will outspace him. And he'll have a hard time approaching. Olimar, I feel like, is also -1 because of Pikmin projectiles that they can go so far, and literally Olimar doesn't even have to do anything, and then he can get a grab out of that too because his grabs go really far as well. I feel like Samus is even because you can keep Samus away, but Samus's grab is very long, Zair is very long, so that might be a problem, and then she can maybe grab him right after. And that is very dangerous, as well as projectiles. I feel like he loses too. Because of the same reasons there and all that, and her projectile, her paralyzer. Link, as well as Toon Link, loses too because the projectiles and Zair again. He can't really deal with that a lot. If he gets like outspaced, then he's like basically destroyed. But Samus is too slow. That's why I feel like she's more even. Actually, I feel like these three should be down here, and Samus should be like right here. I feel like that's more appropriate. I feel like Lucario goes even because of rage, his own rage mechanic, quote unquote, because everyone has rage in this game, but his own rage is very hard to deal with. And it would just come in on you, like instantly kill you, and you won't even know when it's until it's over. Marth, Lucina, I feel like they are even. I feel like their fairs will just like clash every single time, and it's really just a skill at that point. I feel like this matchup is very even. Risk with Roy, I feel like it's +1 in favor of Ike because Roy has, I think, less range than Marth and Lucina, and he's a fast faller, and Ike can combo him very easily. Cloud, he loses to like insanely. It's not even funny because literally Cloud is better Ike in every single way, shape, or form. He can outspace him with B. He can he doesn't even need to approach because he has down B. Same thing with Bayonetta. Literally doesn't need to do like even anything. She can literally side B in if she predicts the fair correctly, or can witch time it too, and he loses to her insanely. I feel like Mewtwo might be more even because he has Shadow Ball, he has projectiles, he also has Side B that can really gimp Ike off the stage, but space him out with Fair, I feel like. I feel like that matchup is more even. With Ryu, I feel like it's -1 because of focus attack, and he can just eat up a Fair and just like literally destroy Ike at that point. Actually, if it's actually destruction, then I feel like it's -2. Big disadvantage there. Ness, I feel like he's -1 because he's more prone to PK Fire into PK Fire because he is heavyweight. Then Ness can do whatever he wants. It doesn't even matter that you have Fair. Ness can spam literally projectiles at you, and it won't matter. Although you can kill him very early, that's why it's not a huge disadvantage. I feel like he's also a disadvantage at Sheik because of needles. Can be shot at any time. It's not like melee, I believe. And needles can be shot diagonally as well to catch you off, so your fair doesn't even matter in this case. Although it's not a huge disadvantage because Ike can still kill her very early. I feel like Greninja is even only because of his up B, maybe counter as well, and how fast he is. With his up B, he can be able to gimp Ike, although Ike can really keep him away, and Greninja can't do much about that. So I feel like that matchup is more even. With Shulk, I feel like this is even. Because even though Shulk has that long ass forward smash, she can't really do anything off of that. Unless he like wants to kill, but like that's easily predictable, right? Because you see the first part and then you're like, okay, let me just dodge out of that. But it's still a threat to you. So I feel like this match is even just because of range and what Shulk can do with his Nair. His Nair is insanely good, and his Monado arts are kind of hard to deal with. Although you can win this if you do play it properly, so I feel like it's even. Actually, it might be -1, honestly. Rosa. You literally can't do anything. Like, almost nothing against Rosa. Like, because of Luma and Starbits and all that, and up airs, and it's just, no, you can't deal with it. Sonic, I feel like it might be 0 or -1. I feel like it's even or slightly disadvantaged. I'm not sure because Ike can, if he times it properly, he can fair Sonic out of his side B or whatever. But Sonic is very fast, and I don't know if that'll matter because Cloud counters Sonic, but Ike's not as fast as Cloud. So I feel like it's either even or Sonic has a slight advantage here. I'm gonna leave him in even though. Pit, I feel like it's an advantage just because of projectiles and he can gimp you off stage. Although it's not impossible because he can't really approach you either. So I feel like it's just a slight disadvantage. Palutena, just because of counter, I feel like it's +1. Although besides that, she can't do literally like anything to you. So you win that as well. Robin, I feel like it's -1 because of Outfire and because of the sword and how he can combo, and his grabs as well are just so annoying that fair doesn't matter at that point. Although I feel like he has a tough time hitting that Outfire because it's at a weird angle, so it's not a huge disadvantage. Dr. Mario, I feel like he has a +1 because it's basically worse Mario. Pac-Man, I don't really feel like he struggles because I think you can hit the fruits back. So I don't think it's much of a struggle there. Lucas is probably something bad to deal with because he has Zair and he has PK Fire. It's not as bad as Ness, but with the Zair added on top of the PK Fire, it will be just as bad as Ness. So I feel like you're at a slight disadvantage there. Corrin, I feel like it's -1 just because you can kill Corrin like so early. It's not even funny. I know you can do that for ZSS, but ZSS literally Zair, paralyzed, Zair. Literally, you can't do anything against that. Same thing with Link to Link, all these characters. But Corrin just has Force Smash and Neutral B you need to worry about. Then you can easily kill him or her. At a slight disadvantage there just because of, honestly, just of range. You can't outrange Corrin. Mega Man, I feel like it's the same story. You can get 2 Mega Man. I feel like your fair outrages his fair. But his projectiles are still going to be a problem, so that's why you're at a slight disadvantage here. Wario, I feel like is even just because of grabs, and he's like more fatter and smaller, so he's harder to hit, and he can grab you very easily. You could say like Fair could outrange him, but honestly, actually +1. Yeah, I just destroyed my own point. Wii Fit, I feel like is +1, even though she has Sun Salutation. You can predict that, and she can't really approach besides that. Literally Peanuts and Banana, I feel like it makes this matchup even because then you can't really outrange with Fair because all Diddy Kong is gonna do is just Peanuts, Banana, and sometimes he'll hit and trip you, and you'll just like get effed up. So I feel like this is even because you need to really rely on skill here. Duck Hunt -1 just because of all the literal projectile he has. Although you can hit since you have a wide range fair, so it's not like it's a complete disaster with a huge disadvantage there. Meta Knight, because he's small, although he can't really do anything about fair, it's the same case as Mario. He can come in fast and grab you. Dark Pit, I feel like, is even because he can come in side B with your fair. His arrows are not as good as Pit's, but they're still trouble for you. And I believe that this is all the matchups for my Ike at the very least. And yeah, that's it. This was kind of a short live stream, but hope you enjoy it.